100 teams have returned once again to compete in this grueling event. They'll ruck 32 miles over 3 days and be shooting 10 stages. But only one team will take the title. Welcome back to the 2023 Grunt Style and Vortex Optics Mammoth Sniper Challenge. This is it. If these competitors can make it through these last 3 rucks and the last 2 stages, they're home free. Everyone is waking up bright and early this morning, feeling the pain in full force that they brought upon themselves in the last 2 days. The competitors are shaking off the sore muscles one last time before their first ruck. The leaderboard is tight. There's definite room for some place changes if any mistakes are made. This is no small feat to make it this far. After today, they'll have completed 30 miles in 3 days with minimal sleep. On a positive note, the packs are light today due to the expenditure of ammo and food over the last 2 days. And if they've packed and planned accordingly, the last 7.5 miles are going to be the lightest they'll be. Today we're going to be paying close attention to the top teams in an effort to see how their strategy plays out in the final 2 stages. All 8 squads will be shooting simultaneously together on the same stages, and everyone is eagerly awaiting their instructions. In first place, we've got Odom and Gidcombe. They have a small point lead on Payne and Hetherington that they cannot take for granted. In third place, we've got Greytack and Underkoffler, followed by Staskowitz and Peterson. And in fifth, Keller and Reed. Third, fourth and fifth place are separated by only 3 points, and it's anyone's game right now. The game plans and strategies right now are crucial to maintaining their places and potentially moving up in the ranks. In this stage, the competitors will be shooting both dominant hand and non-dominant hand with their pistols, as well as engaging targets standing, kneeling and prone. In the kneeling position, they're not allowed to sit on their rear foot, making these shots all that more difficult. Pistol work here is crucial to keep those points coming in. Every miss with your secondary is almost a guaranteed loss in your ranking. The fatigue of supporting your rifle in both a standing and kneeling position is also underestimated by a lot of these competitors. They can wear themselves out easily shooting these distances and trying to keep their rifles steady. We're seeing a lot of misses standing and kneeling from some of these teams. Be sure to train for anything and everything if you plan on competing in this challenge. Guys, welcome back. It's day 3 here at the Mammoth Sniper Challenge at Gordon in Georgia. There are 3 teams that are neck and neck for first, second and third place. We've just seen some of them shoot and it is extremely tight. We're about to move on to the second stage of the day before they do their final ruck of the entire event, and we're all really excited here. We've had some really big names drop out of the event, so the first, second and third place is currently pending and we're excited for it. The nerves are settling in as they get into today's groove, and they know they're only going to have one more course of fire to get through. Even though the ruck is short, they have to keep a good pace to get there in time so they can get settled in and ready for the next batch of instructions. Their spirits are high as they near the final range. They've come so far and there's no excuse for failure now. This is what they've been training for. This course of fire is rifles only. They have 6 rounds hit or miss to engage 66% torsos at 707 yards. It's the final stage here at the Mammoth Sniper Challenge. We're excited to see these guys. They're going to be swapping out their guns with their teammates and shooting some really nice long distance. Again, it is neck and neck between the top 3 people, and you can see the stress on some of these guys' faces. So we'll show you some footage from that now, and after that it's going to be the long ruck back to the finish line and then the prize table. They're fine through their fatigue, and unfortunately for some, there's a bunch of movement in the top 5 teams, as third place is sipping behind 5th place, making it some moves to the top. Green and Greenwood are in 6th place, making some crucial hits that they've moved into 4th, knocking out Staskowitz and Peterson out of the top 5. We told you this competition is close, and it's easy to lose ground on this final day.
we're again winding down for the final stage, and everyone's beginning to mentally prepare for the final ruck back to the finish. This is the most brutal ruck of the event. It covers 7.5 miles over large hills and sugar sand. This is where injuries can happen all too easily. Their muscles are already beyond fatigue, and if they aren't careful, they'll easily pull a muscle that could cost them everything.
It's the final stretch of the just under 8 miles final ruck of the Mammoth Sniper Challenge, and we're about halfway. The guy that's currently in first place just went past us, and I can tell you from looking behind us, the next runners behind him are easily half a mile away. So the distance between first place and second place on this ruck is just absolutely phenomenal.
This terrain is brutal. It comes at a time they're ready to be done with the hell that they've put themselves through. As long as they finish in the allotted time, they will have completed one of the most rigorous and difficult sniper challenges in North America. As they hit the sand, the calves are beginning to burn, but they're nearly at the finish line and they can feel the waves of relief as they exit the pit and see the building at the end of the drive. As they cross the finish line, they can finally let the adrenaline taper and melt into the grass for a long-needed break and snack.
It didn't turn out quite like we planned, but in retrospect, we may not even should have started this.
We're both old enough and stubborn enough. We both had injuries coming in. We thought we could push through them, and both of our injuries caught up with us. Joe's fighting an MCL injury in his knee. I tore a hamstring a few months ago and told the doctor I didn't want to wait as long as he wanted me to, and we came anyway. We pushed, we worked hard, put in a tremendous effort, I think. And
oh yeah. I think we were both hoping the other one would quit so we didn't have to keep going, but neither one of us are smart enough for that. So
we shot well, and injuries caught up with us.
Yeah, it just wasn't our year, but we'll do it again next year. We'll be back and hopefully healthy this time.
That's right.
As they made themselves comfortable, maybe a little too comfortable, they eagerly begin to wait for the final scores to be posted and their fates are sealed. Let's have a look at the prize table and see what goodies this year winners will get to take home. We have to give a special thanks to these companies for donating so much to this competition. Without them, we couldn't have made this happen. From full rifles to optics, gun belts, mag holsters and chassis, the prize tables are loaded with quality gear and goods. Let's hand over to the match director Chris to see who took the top spots in this year's Grunt Style and Vortex Optics Mammoth Sniper Challenge.
So thank you all for being here again. Congratulations to making it to Sunday, regardless of how you did it. This was our 5th Grunt Style Vortex Optics Mammoth Sniper Challenge here at Fort Gordon. And a couple weeks we'll probably send out a survey to see what everyone thought of it. I got a lot of feedback from competitors in the field, at the stages, at the finish line. But we tried to do something different, more challenging, more competitive. The field gets better and better every year, and I spend all year thinking about this as a match director and as a past competitor. So I hope everybody had fun. We had a safe event, which was the most important thing. And the first thing I want to do is thank our host, Garrison Commander Colonel Evans. Come on over, sir. Thank you very, very much for having us.
Hey, was it good enough for you? I hope we did not waste your time. And I know a lot of you come out here year after year and come compete with us, and we're glad to have you. If this was your first time, hey, by all means, please come back, because we're going to figure out a way to make it a little bit better for you. So glad to have you. I want to thank all the folks and all the hard work who got us here to the finish line. And it's our Garrison team, MWR, over there, Mr. Dove Estroff. And that man right there, he worked magic. And to our primary sponsor here, and Mr. Tim right here, hey, Grunt Style. Hey, that's all I got to say. I love you guys. Appreciate you doing this for us. And so last thing is I just want you all to be safe getting out of here. Some of you are close, you're local. Glad to have you get home safe. But if you took flights here, if you're getting on the highway, please be safe. Get back home safe to you because we want you to come back here next year. Thanks a lot.
In addition to Dove, Craig Larson, director of MWR, has a lot to do with what goes on here. I don't think Dan Atkins is here from Range Control, but he approves everything that we do here, like down to the inch. Tim, do you want to say a few things?
The only thing I really want to say is we've been doing this for 5 years, and Chris Andrews, you're probably one of the most humble individuals I've ever come to know, and the things that you do here and the planning that goes on with Mammoth is next to none. You're an incredible person, and he puts this on every year. The planning that goes on for Mammoths, like we're going to stop here today, we'll go home, and we're going to pick this up in the first week of March, and we'll be planning all the way through to the next iteration. And that's a lot of work, and there's a lot of planning that goes involved in it. I know Chris spends a lot of his time outside of his regular job putting this together to make sure that you guys have the best experience in long-range shooting in the country. And I feel that he does that every time. So Chris, I want to say thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Nick Laufenberg from Vortex Optics, are you still here? Of course you are with the camera. Do you have anything you would like to say?
No, you're doing great.
No, we're doing great. Stage sponsors I want to run through again because they all made big contributions. I believe we have the largest, deepest prize table this year, which in this economy was a lot of work, and there's a lot of people that contribute to it. Beretta, Tika, Eberly Stock, JP Enterprises, Marathon Targets. Is there anyone left here from Marathon Targets? Right here. What do we think of the Marathon Target stage? Thank you, guys. MK Machining, Night Force Optics, Proof Research, Seekins Precision, Whalen Engineering, Kestrel, and Magneto Speed sponsored the Zero Range as well. So we have a lot going on there. Some support items that were new this year. Is the National Guard 20th Special Forces Group still here? Supplied the Razor for the M-Razor stage. I know they were trying to get out of town quickly as well, but they supplied that to shoot in all weekend. I warned them it was going to get dirty and full of brass, and they were happy to do it. So it's a great support element for the event. 18 Delta Special Forces Medic Group was where a lot of the medics came from this week. Are all of you still here? Negative. All right. Well, we got great medic support from that group this year, better than we've ever had. The staff, Rob, I know you're here somewhere. Rob right here, I point him out every year. He and I were here for 2 days before Christmas, every day between Christmas and New Year, and January 2nd through right now, setting all this up. Every T-post in the ground was driven by Rob or myself, and it's a lot of work, and tomorrow we take it all down. So thank you again, Rob, for what you do. Beyond that, the rest of the staff, I say this at the staff dinner on Thursday night every year, and I look around the room, and I see like the quality people on the staff, and we're going to get together and do something as soon as we're done here. But the people that staff this event, the people that come out to support this event, to me, is like an all-star cast of ROs that I've seen in my shooting career. And I tell them on Thursday night, like, I don't know how I trick you guys into coming here to do this, but I sure am thankful that they do. So thank you to all of the staff. I said something the other morning, and I might have been really tired when I said it, but I'll add you a few more details, and I'll tell you all I can tell you. For years, we have talked about doing a second event. This event has sold out every year. Last year, it sold out in 47 minutes. This year, it took 2.5 weeks, but it sold out. We've talked about holding one west of the Mississippi, near the center of the country, in the Northwest. Where are the shooters? Who would come? Would it sell out? All of that. I would say that today we are closer than we've ever been to being able to announce a second event. And it will be west of the Mississippi when we do. It will be on active military installation when we do. And unfortunately, that's all I can tell you right now. But it's closer than it's ever been, and I'm excited about it. Tim's excited about it. There's a lot involved in putting this together, right? And so we have to get all of that done before we can say anything. But do know that there's a lot of work going on in that area. So stay tuned. Registration for this event will open again on July 14th, just like it has for the last 5 years. Okay, on to the event. On Thursday, we were expecting 96 teams. Friday morning, we stepped off 90 teams. Friday night, we had 84 teams. Saturday night, we had 71 teams. We lost a couple teams Sunday morning before it even stepped off. And 65 teams. 65 teams out of 100 that were registered crossed the finish line in time and ran the entire event. So first and foremost, because I remember the first time I did it 10 years ago, congratulations to everyone that finished, because finishing is an accomplishment. After we posted the scores, we had 3 arbitrations. 2 of them were a no change. One of them did change, I think, 10th or 11th place and down. So be aware of that. If you've not looked at the most recently posted scores, you might be in a different position by 1. What we're going to do is we're going to announce the top 3 teams. Top 3 teams are going to get trophies. Top 3 teams have 2 bags from First Form Supplements. Is Jeff still here? No? Jeff Frazier was here all weekend from First Form. You probably saw him at registration. He was around all weekend, super impressed with the event, and kind of in our wheelhouse for what we do. So hoping to expand the relationship with them. Trophies. First place team has a pair of titanium pens from Nottingham Tactical. First Form bags. Mammoth finisher patches for the first time. And then each team member will grab something off the prize table. There's stuff stacked up and combined and things like that, but it's as it's always been. So, 2 names I've been saying for a couple of years. In first place, congratulations, Dave Odom and Caleb Gidcombe. So you got these 2 trophies. I guess we'll do that and that.
Been waiting for it.
You've been waiting for that, huh? Congratulations, guys.
Awesome, guys.
Nice job. There are 2 bags right here for first place. Right there and right there.
Yeah, there's yours, Dave. Thank you,
You're very welcome. Take these with you as well. From Nottingham Tactical.
All right. Chris, do we get our patch? One more thing.
And Mammoth finisher patch. I'm sorry? Oh, do they? Yes. Well, okay.
Oh, Ben. Ben. Oh.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget that.
All right. In second place, 2 more familiar names, Tyler Payne and Jacob Hetherington. Any of those guys we're looking at.
Especially me.
Especially me. All right, there's 1 bag for second place here, 1 bag for second place there. Anything for the prize wheel. Here's these 2 as well.
Hey, do we get the stands?
Yes. The first place stands are still up here. Our hands were full. In third place, Luke Keller and Zach Reed. Oh, yeah. There's 2 third place bags over there. And these right here. Well done.
Stance.
Oh, that's first place.
Oh, that's yeah. Sorry, I was screaming out.
Another familiar name in fourth place, Brandon Green and Forrest Greenwood. Yes, absolutely.
Let's have a quick talk to this year's well-deserved winners.
Yeah, my best friends.
Yeah, I know that's it. Wow.
we're right there.
Okay, guys. So, first place this year. Tell me, what were your strengths that they did this year that maybe were different from the years previously?
You know, I think fine-tuning our communications is one of the big parts of it. So,
Picking apart, making sure that we're shooting everything in order and watching for each other, make sure that we complete the string of fire correctly. And a lot of practice. We put in quite a bit of practice prior. Shot another match right before this, which boosted our confidence for sure.
Did you have a favorite stage?
I left it there Saturday morning.
I'd say that my favorite stage was the inboard-outboard, just because there was kind of chaos up there. You had people shooting on the inside in between, and then we're shooting, targets on the outside. We had to communicate over that fire, so that was a pretty fun stage, fast-paced.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I really liked the side-by-side, the buggy, shoot out of it, because you kind of had to jump in there and just figure out how you were going to get a stable platform fast. So that was good.
How did you find the rucks went?
The last ruck was pretty intense, but it was good. Weather was great this year, so still we stepped off with about 65-pound packs, and so it wasn't too bad.
The heaviest we've been.
Yeah.
We brought more gear this time.
Yeah.
Anything that you would like to suggest for people that want to do this in the future that maybe haven't done this before? You could give a piece of advice for that, maybe.
That's our 3 rules.
Yeah. Have fun, make the rucks, and hit some steel. That's it.
What are you guys going to do now?
Head towards the house.
A nice meal.
Yeah. Shower. Yeah, nice meal, shower, and then head home. So.
Yeah. I shot this match back when it was in Kentucky. I haven't shot it since. Jacob shot it last year.
Yeah, I shot it last year and this year's.
What have you changed from last year that you were? Did anything change, and also from when you did show in Kentucky?
Yeah, one of the biggest changes for me was I had more time to prepare. I've always been like a backup or a substitute, so I got like a month and a half to prepare for this one instead of like a couple hours, so that really helped.
Brilliant. And yourself, from back in when it was in Kentucky?
The rucks were a lot harder in Kentucky, and it was a lot colder.
And a lot colder?
Yeah.
One thing I noticed earlier on, you guys were, one thing was speed with pistols and stuff like that. Is there an area that you think needs to be, people need to be putting more effort into that you saw on with other contestants or anything?
I think if you're primarily a long gun shooter, you should know how to shoot a pistol because, I mean, if something up close pops up, you need to be able to defend yourself and shoot a pistol well. And I think it's just a good skill to know is being able to shoot a pistol.
Did you guys come into this confident? Did you think that you'd be placing in the top 5 or top 10, let alone second place?
Well, we came to win.
Absolutely.
I mean, if we didn't think we were going to win, we wouldn't come. So we're a little disappointed, but.
Well, from what we've seen, you guys did an absolutely outstanding job. Is there any advice that you'd give to people that haven't done this before, that potentially want to do it in the future, that may be on the fence about doing it?
I would say make sure that you can carry your own gear and make the rucks, because if that's the hardest part of this match, then you can't really focus on the shooting. So get your physical ability there, and then you can just focus on shooting.
Yeah, I came in a little underprepared, so I would say do at least one practice ruck because that first one was hurting.
Right. Is that what you feel like the one thing you were underprepared with was the rucking?
One of the many things.
Yeah.
Obviously, we didn't shoot well enough, so
right, okay.
I would say we should have shot more together. But
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy for me to say. I wouldn't be too hard on yourselves. You guys did absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
Looking on the numbers on the board, you guys absolutely crushed it. So
appreciate it.
I think second place is absolutely commendable, and you guys come back next year, and hopefully first place will be your guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
All right, guys. When we checked the leaderboards this morning, you guys were in 5th place.
That's correct.
You woke up this morning in good spirits about that. You were happy with where you were?
We had no idea.
No idea.
Somebody else told us. So.
Yeah, we didn't even check.
We didn't even
so
check. So
phones are off, and
sometimes people would say that wasn't even necessary. Well, we've gone ahead today, and we've gone ahead and finished off the event, and we see you guys in 3rd place. How does that make you feel that it went from 5th to 3rd, and people have moved around, and you guys are placed at such a great spot?
Honestly, for me, it's you always try to get maximum points for each stage, and I hope everybody else does the same because it's a tough competition. And it just means that somebody else messed up something one time that we just happened not to, and it pushed us a little bit ahead. So
yeah.
What about strengths? What did you guys come here with that were maybe your strengths that maybe you didn't see shine so much during the event, or vice versa with weaknesses that you thought actually did come through and helped out?
Communication.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we communicated really well with each other, and then we always talked with our plan beforehand to ensure that we knew what information was critical to communicate.
Yeah. Lots of rehearsals before stages.
Like visual rehearsals, mental rehearsals, like talking through it several times over. And
really
sometimes that worked out really well, and then other times doing that exact thing did not work out really well for us.
But on the average.
But on the average, it worked out.
Yeah.
What about changes to things that you may have brought along with you? Your gear, your rifles, your rucks? Anything you would have changed looking back, or for next year, or the year after, or a different competition?
Man, I mean, our systems were dialed in. I think a little on the heavy side for both of us, but trusted them, trusted our data, trusted what we'd done to, put it all together, and man, it performed. We didn't have to, we weren't chasing zeros and stuff wandering around. It just worked, and I'm kind of hesitant to change that, but I think we got some ideas moving forward.
It hurt a little bit more rucking.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
a result.
Maybe a little blister or two more,
Outstanding. Did you guys have a favorite stage or a least favorite stage? Was your short game better than your longer game?
Our long game was on. It was on. First round hits on a lot of very far targets. And I think my favorite was the column stage. That one's fun. Just a huge field of fire, engage as you see them. Some amount of sequencing to it, but still, it's a good long distance stage, and it's kind of what I want to see at this competition.
My favorite's the marathon target stage. I thought we were going to do a lot better. That was not the case. We actually didn't do as well as we had wanted to on that one. And so it's room for improvement for next time. It was pretty much the worst case scenario. They're all bladed going back and forth at kind of a higher speed pretty far away. And going in, our game plan was that was not going to be the case. And we didn't adjust quick enough in order to get max points on it.
Probably quite surprising to see robots driving around a field wanting to be shot at.
I was hoping they were going to be closer and maybe moving more towards us versus further away and, bladed and moving pretty fast, left and right.
Some of the targets out here, even as a spectator, those targets were minute. So those long-range shots, seeing people drop those was just incredible. So, do you have any advice you'd give to anybody that was maybe on the fence about coming to Mammoth or a challenge like this to try and help them move forward?
I'd say it's fun. The community's awesome. Talking with people in our squad come from all walks of life. Great community from all across America, probably primarily the Eastern Seaboard for this one, but there's definitely people coming from West and from Ohio, things far away as that. So the community is really good, and you could come here and learn a lot.
Yeah.
And then perform way better the next time you do any event that's like this, just based off the amount of communication and community that you're going to have throughout the event.
If someone can scrap together the minimum just to shoot it, even if it's not an ideal setup, they'll walk away and come back with the next year with exactly in mind what they need. Because some of this is like quite a mystery. You go look on Google for this comp and, what do I need? And there's not a lot of talk about it, as compared to other stuff. So just to come here and see it, and honestly, for the people that we met, it was their first time. They enjoyed it, even coming not unprepared, but, on a little bit different footing than we would over others that have shot it more. So.
Outstanding. Well, I know you guys have got a flight to go and jump onto. We appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the placement. I mean, it's great to see people jumping up right at the last second. It just goes to show how close that competition is, and that's
very close.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Well, congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Cheers,
guys. We've spoken to you guys a couple of times throughout the weekend, and I just want to reflect on a few things for people that maybe missed it in previous episodes of what we've been recording so far. You guys came here having not shot one of these events before. You've got backgrounds in rucking, but not necessarily in the shooting as much as these other contestants. And I look on the leadership board here, and you guys placed halfway through the entire event, which is absolutely outstanding. The first females to ever complete the event. You guys must be absolutely exhilarated right now. How do you feel?
I think that's a pretty good word. Yeah, we're super excited. Finishing was the goal, right? The biggest goal. And then our second biggest goal was to not have a stage 0. So we wanted to get points on every stage. And we accomplished both of those goals, and to have not placed last is also, I think, the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you guys have done a great job. Obviously, yesterday we lost 2 of your trainers, 2 people that have shown you how well this has gone, and they unfortunately didn't make the last ruck. How did you feel when that happened?
I think one of our strategies is we need to run our own race always. And that means not being influenced by somebody that's going really fast on the ruck, next to us. It also means not being influenced by other people having it not work out the way they wanted. We've got to run our own race and be super focused all the time. If we're rucking, we need to be focused on rucking. If we're shooting, we need to be focused on shooting. So we stayed really focused. I don't think that affected us. We felt bad for them, but it certainly didn't affect our performance because we were really focused.
Yeah, and for me, it made me want to do even better the next day, because I wanted to, make them proud and not let them down.
Brilliant. If there's any advice, and certainly not closing this off just yet, but if there was any advice that you wanted to give somebody, not necessarily female or male, but somebody who was brand new to this, just like yourselves, where you've come in quite blind, what kind of advice would you give to people?
For me, I think it's amazing what you can accomplish in 9 months, because that's pretty much when we started this journey from never having shot a single round before to, coming here and giving it a go. It just takes dedication. We spend a lot of evenings dry firing. We meet up on weekends. We continue rucking, and we just are very methodical about our training. So we think about what we learn from every single session, even a 15-minute dry fire session. I always think of something that I could do better for next time.
Well, with regards to thinking about doing things better next time, we'd love to see you guys back next year. What, as other than just general training, is there anything that you really want to focus on to change for next year?
Speed.
Okay.
We ran out of time on every single stage and didn't get the opportunity to engage the targets. And so speed, and there's a lot of different facets there, but that's our biggest thing that we need to improve.
Yeah, and we have a better idea of what to expect. Like, we can't imagine using packs the way we've seen over the weekend. So now we can be more creative with how to make use of what we have in the terrain around us.
Anything you wouldn't have brought with you?
We didn't bring very much, so no.
We spoke yesterday, and you said you guys your packs were very thin already.
Yes.
So there was nothing, you couldn't have scraped any more corners.
We had no excess.
Any ideas of a changing gear or anything like that? Your guns performed well. Obviously you guys run or ruck a lot already, so you already knew about the right shoes to be wearing, the right clothing to be wearing.
I think we had one set of binos, and our vision is really different, and so mid-stage it was really hard to change that. So if binos weighed 0, we might bring 2, but binos are kind of heavy, so we may still stick with 1, but that's definitely going to be something we'll be talking about.
Outstanding. Well, I know not just from myself, but everybody else, when you guys crossed the finish line, there was a huge group of people that were absolutely stoked to see you cross over, and everyone's super proud of you, so thank you for coming out. If you guys have got anything else that you'd like to tell the viewers, maybe, other than that, you guys heading home now?
We're heading back to
big
Charlotte.
Meal or anything?
Yes, I'm sure there will be food, maybe some nice hand washing. I think what I would say is, for women, come do this match, right? Whether you come do it with a male teammate or whether you come do it with a female teammate, come do this match. You can do it.
That is it for this year's Grunt Style and Vortex Optics Mammoth Sniper Challenge. We'll see you next year. Thanks for watching.